Hi guys and welcome back. This is going to be a little bit different than normal. As you can see, I am full screen, like proper full screen for the first time in age. I'm also the right way round. What's going on with that? I hear you ask. Also, new light. It is a fox you can't see because I can't get the camera settings right. I will try to get that sorted. Yeah, welcome. I'm really hoping that me holding the microphone isn't going to mess anything up, but we shall see. Right, today I am talking you through the trip that me and my family went on in November, which was to York for a few days. That's all it was. If my voice sounds a little bit weird, I do apologise. I've been out for the past 2 days with my friend who came down from Leeds. It is now March 2026, by the way. This trip was in November. But I had other things to edit, upload, schedule, all that stuff beforehand, so we are getting into it now. Don't like it, sorry. But, right, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing, because I normally obviously don't do this for vlogs. I normally just edit the video, upload the video, whatever. But I thought, you know what, I kind of wanted to do it this way when I was recording, where it was like, as I'm recording, I'm thinking, right, I could do voiceover on this, leave this with the actual audio, etc, etc. So I will be going through it with you as we're talking. You will see me clip back to November Exza for the vlog and everything. It's going to be fun to edit, but we'll see if vlogs get more like this or if they stay. It depends. I think if it's a trip I might do it more like this, and if it's not then we'll see. Let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoy. Where are we going, Mother?
We're going York. We're going Norwich and Foxling. Hi.
So yeah, starting in May last year, which is my birthday. My birthday is in May, so my family said, because they went to York for my mother's birthday in January, they said, oh, you've always wanted to go to York, do you want to go for your birthday? And I was like, you know what, that'd be pretty cool, yeah. But none of us could get the time off at the same time or anything, so we were just like, you know what, why don't we make it later on in the year, you know? And then it just kept getting pushed back. So eventually we went, we were originally going to go like the end of October, but obviously, me being me, I always go out for Halloween. So I was like, you know what, don't make it Halloween or the day after, because I will be hanging out my arse, because it's Halloween. So make it for the day after that, we can head down and whatever. So we ended up going on the 2nd of November. As you can see me having fun in the car here. Listening to Freak Like Me by Hailstorm. My playlist is very strange. We're obviously listening to Guns N' Roses on the road. It's fun. And I was convinced that any statue in York was a weeping angel. Wow. Right, so the digs. Oh, the digs. As my dad calls places, digs that you stay in. It was like, it wasn't really an Airbnb, but it was like a really nice, it was on one of the ones my mum used, Trivago or one of those things. I don't know why they don't just use Airbnb. I personally, for every trip I've been on, have used Airbnb, but they organised it, they sorted it, whatever. So this is where they stayed when they went for my mum's birthday, and then obviously they liked it so much they were like, you know what, it's not in the centre of town, so it's not going to be like too loud or whatever, but it's like a 5-minute walk at most, so it's close enough that you don't have to like drive into town and everything. And honestly, really nice place. I will past Exza. I can't speak today. I do apologise. I would also have my headphones on. That's a fucker. But I got 2 piercings yesterday, so I got my secondaries done. So I don't really want to risk upsetting them or anything until they've had chance to heal. So keeping the headphones off for now. But I don't need them on. You guys know me without the bright fox ears, right? I don't know, maybe if I sit right where the light is, then I'll get blurry fox ears from the background. Yes, I will let... The shoulder still does that. I will let past Exza take it from here. I may get a bit better at this. Present Exza needs to just fucking go. Alright, past Exza, take it away.
You get the key out.
You've said that. So yeah, obviously this place was like really nice, quite big for 3 people.
You said it, not you. You were sitting there.
I was sitting there anyway. My mum was moaning about, well, not moaning, she was saying how they changed like the sofa situation, because the first time they went there was like just a small double-seater or something, then they'd added like a chair and you got the window seat and everything. So I don't know, I didn't go the first time, but she said that was good that they'd like changed it so that you had more room to play. Won't be able to see the TV.
That wasn't the last time.
You're going to be the most annoying person. The kitchen was like huge for a couple-day trip. I mean, I know, like my mum said, you can get like, you could obviously stay there for like a week, 2 weeks, though you probably done everything you can do in York at that point. But yeah, loved the kitchen. Does it look like I'm doing a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, that. Oh no. Obviously, we didn't end up using the washing machine or anything.
That was a long way.
That was a long way.
Oh,
I need a wee.
I need a way, I'm going first.
Those bagpipes. Oh, honey, those bagpipes. All I heard the whole time was my mother thinking they were so hilarious that she was just lift and drop and let it squeak at you, and then lift and drop and let it squeak at you. I'm like, can you please not? Oh my god, see, beat. This microphone setup is not going to go well, because I'm worried that you guys can hear every little movement of the wire, which is why I started doing it a different way, which is why in recent videos you can't hear the wire clanging. But I'm hoping with it not being against the actual desk bit that it's not going to. I don't know, I was just going to set it down and be like, yeah, cool, whatever, like normal, but then I was like, I'm presenting today, that does not sound good, but you know. Let me hold the microphone, and I'm regretting my choices right now. I may change it halfway through. We'll see. You were the last one to go before we left.
That's beside the point. Your bedroom.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
It's not like that on there.
Very red.
Huh?
It's very red. My bedroom. Right. I'll close them blinds. Yeah, so my room was like cool, like a little single bed. Ooh, what are these? Earbuds. Might need those with my parents. Yorkshire. But yeah, my room, nothing to write home about. I kept the blinds closed for like the whole time until we left, because that's just me. Plus there's a street outside, bro. Why would I want them like looking at me through the street? I don't fucking know. Murderers. But yeah, the room was a room. Yeah, I really liked all the artwork that was around. That was like really nice. When we put the heating on the first night, I literally like boiled to death, because it was really cold at first, but then we put the heating on, and like half an hour later I'd like fallen asleep because I was absolutely shattered. And I woke up like half an hour after that, dying. I was like, I cannot breathe. Where does this heat come from? So yeah, that good heating. Typical. Somewhere has the most wardrobe. Put your trousers up.
I forgot it.
You twat. Someone actually has the most wardrobe space I've ever seen, and we're here for 3 days.
Yeah, but some people come for a week.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
Get the luggage.
Bye, Dad. I don't have a TV.
You don't have a TV.
You've got a TV.
You've got earplugs.
Yeah, my parents' bedroom had a TV. Mine didn't. Very annoying. They've got a whole double bed. They could go sit in the lounge with the TV. Meanwhile, little old me, I just watched YouTube on my phone, let's be honest. But you know. Just rude. I know. 4 packets of them.
You've got a clothes brush. You've got your own towel, that's your bath towel. Well, I don't know.
I don't know, I've not checked. Test. Look at this bitch right here, sat on the bed. Doing the bed test. I like them softer, but you know. It's like feather. The bed was quite comfy. It was just the fucking... As you can see, wasn't exactly a huge fan of the feather quilt, because I have a I don't know if it's a texture thing or what, or a sound thing. I don't like feather quilts, pillows, anything like that. Plus every so often a feather like sticks out and pokes you, and it's like, why? It's a feather duvet. Look, even more storage. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to edit this. I don't know. I'm literally just going to ramble and then hopefully edit it into a somewhat coherent thing for you guys to watch. I don't know what I'm doing. Also, ignore my hair today. It's not doing anything I want it to do, so don't judge the hair. It was in a bun, but the past couple of weeks, for some reason, whenever I put my hair in a bun, it just doesn't want to sit right. It makes it look really weird, and I'm like, okay, fine. So then I put it in a ponytail, and I'm like, it looks shit. I know it looks shit. I'm tempted to cut it all off again, but you know, it's just irritating me. We should be looking at all that, shouldn't we? What? Oh yeah, I've looked all through that.
Ironing board and...
Right, bathroom there. I hope you're not left your piss in the toilet.
It's in your big deep bath, look at that.
The bath. Honey, the bath. It was so good. It was so deep, and when I get my own place, that is the sort of bath that I am wanting. Yes, it is.
And you're massive, look at the shower.
No, I'm not fussed about that. It's that I want. You know, I'm having a bath every night, right?
Are you?
Yeah. Might even have one before we go on Tuesday.
Down there as well. So that's where that was in the front room last time we came. And me and your dad said, how do you expect 6 people to come in here and only have 2 seats?
Well, some people don't like being around other people, Mother. That's locked.
Yeah, the key's in there.
Your grudge hatch is locked.
It's got all the cleaning stuff and everything in it.
It's very red. Don't turn that off, I'm going in there in a second. Leave me in darkness.
So, that was there. That.
But yeah, other than that, like, there's not too much to say about the digs. I know I've said quite a bit already, but there's not too much to say about it. It was a good place to stay. 5 stars. Upstairs neighbours were a little bit noisy, but that's not, that's not the Airbnb's fault. And of course you've got the obligatory mirror selfies, because I don't know, like the past couple of years I've started taking more mirror selfies, which I don't never really used to do, but yeah. Whatever. Which way do we go? Straight up. Monk's Gate. So Monk's Gate, Obviously they've got like construction happening on it, so you know, not the best for aesthetic purposes. But Monksgate was just a walkway into the town, really. It's kind of like where the walls used to cross over and whatever. It was really cool to see. Like, bear in mind I grew up in Nottingham, so it's like we've got like old buildings and shit, but seeing like more of the castle-y style stuff was really cool. And York's just such a beautiful place. I could see myself living there, not gonna lie. So yeah, Monksgate was literally like the walkway we went through from outside the town where our digs was to like inside the town. Monksgate was our crossing over thing into it. And just look how pretty that is. Ugh, I love it. This is York Minster. You will get a better view of it later, I promise. But yeah, just like, look at this street, dude. Look at this street. Like, honestly, this whole place was gorgeous. Obviously, they got like all the punting, I want to say is the word, with the little flags up, and like something that I've always loved since I was a kid is Victorian style buildings. So there's that many of them here, and they all look like they're about to collapse, but they're like sturdy as well. I love York. I love York. So pretty.
Giles.
Say Giles. So our first main stop of the day was actually the Jorvik Centre, which is somewhere I've always wanted to go. Obviously, as somebody who does Viking reenactment, the main draw to York for me, other than the ghosts, was the Viking side of things. Obviously, Jorvik is Old Norse for York. Or it was like York something, and then they like shortened it. Yeah, either way. Jorvik, because J's are Y's, and trying to explain that to my mother did not. It's the Jorvik. I'm like, no, it's the Jorvik. So I'm gonna let the guy who was one of the guides sort of introduce you to it, like while you were waiting to go in and stuff. I'm gonna let him take it away. So take it away. What do you look like? Do you look like a Barney? Do you look like an Earl or a Simon? I don't know. Take it away, dude. This is fucking unhinged.
Its entirety is underground. Around about 5 metres underground, that's that way. All the way up to 5 metres underneath Cafe Nero, Avis Shoe John, that way. And then about a 70 metre width. It's all underground, and to get there, you need to descend either 27 steps or use our modern lift. Either way, we'll end up on a glass floor downstairs. The glass floor underneath of which is a bite-sized chunk, a sort of a replica of an excavation that took place right here between May 1976 and September 1981. The excavation was a little bit bigger though than what you're going to go and see. In fact, as I've already mentioned, Cafe Nero all the way down to the Cattle Shed Burger Bar, and then about 100 metres wide. It was a very large excavation indeed, brought about due to the demolition of a sweet factory that used to stand on this site all those years ago. You'll get a better explanation about what is below the glass floor from one of my colleagues when you get there. From there you'll move on to our ride, where you'll be able to experience the sights, the sounds and the smells of Viking York. Now don't get too hung up about the smells. Most people do just after lunch, it's a bit of a hoop. They're not as bad as what they would have been like back in the day. Alright, they're a bit sort of a taster session as opposed to the full thing. Please, 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 just embrace the smells. Please do not try and hold your breath for around about 15 or so minutes when you're on the ride. That generally results in something quite dodgy called death. It's not good, alright? So please just embrace the smells. They're not that bad, really. From there though you'll move on to a more traditional gallery section where you'll be able to see some of the artefacts that we excavated during the excavation. Such wonders as a frying pan. You get the idea? Such wonders as a woolly sock. And the world's largest human fossilised
Better tell me about
And a lot more besides. There's a lot more down there than that. Enjoy it. Oh, before you do go downstairs, folks, just a couple of things. Please.
Alright. So do feel free to join me here on the last floor, everyone. We'll start talking in just a moment when everyone's downstairs.
So, as you guys just saw, that whole room was basically like a glass floor. I don't know how obvious it is in the video, to be fair, but yeah, it was all basically like a glass floor, and then they like recreated the dig site, so where they found like the houses and bits of jewellery and all that stuff, which was really interesting. I love a good museum. I am a bitch for a good museum. Love it. And the fact that it was about Viking stuff as well, and I was like, oh, this is something I actually know a fair bit about. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert or anything, but yeah, it was kind of cool. And obviously then I had my parents asking me like, is this accurate? Do you know about this? And I'm like, I can only sort of give you like half the time yes, half the time no. So just because I do Viking reenactments and I enjoy Viking stuff doesn't mean I know everything. It just means that like I'm interested, and it becomes a bit of a hyperfixation every so often. So
Hi everyone, welcome down. Good afternoon.
hey, ain't as bad as Blackpool. So these were all the bits of like jewelry that they'd found here, and the person, it's kind of funny because the person that was showing us them, they were like talking about them and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, no, we've like, I've used some of these sorts of beads before, because Beardy, who you guys should know, Beardy is a silver and goldsmith, and one of his Viking characters is to create jewelry. He doesn't do as much of that now, but that was his, like, for years that was his character. And so like obviously I was telling them, oh yeah, my best mate in my group does this, and he was like, oh, what group? And I was like, oh, Viking reenactment, part of the Danelaw clan. And he was like, oh, I'm part of a Vike group too, and we started chatting about that. It was kind of fun. It was fun to talk to somebody else that's like interested in this stuff. And after that we went on to the ride, which is about like, I think altogether it was about 15 minutes. I didn't like film the whole thing. I like took quite a few clips of it, and have put them here for you guys to watch. So I will let Past Exza take it away again, and you guys can enjoy the ride. Obviously I still recommend you going yourselves, because like the man said outside, the smell, there's no way to really describe it. That's the it gave me a migraine. That might be why I slept so good that night, because I just fucking zonked out. But yeah, the smell, oh honey, go to York if you get a chance. 1066.
Around the time the Eric Bloodaxe, the last Viking king in York, was banished, York expanded dramatically, with new streets, new churches, and a brand new style of houses. Goods from one side of the Viking world to the other. Silks and the cowrie shell found here suggest trade with Central Asia, the Eastern Mediterranean and the Red Sea. It's possible that Arab traders like this man made their way to York to sell their goods. Slavers may have come to York from Dublin or elsewhere, bringing with them the spoils of their raids or battle victories. Slaves were an important part of society all over Northern and Western Europe at this time. It looks like this slave trader is trying to make his way up to Copenhagen. But before we get there, let's have a look at some of the many craftspeople working here in the city. Here's Sigurd, He's using animal bones and antler from deer to make some everyday objects such as combs, comb cases, skates, and bone pins. Making a comb from antler can be very time consuming, as the ones found here are made from many pieces riveted
Don't
together.
rest your arm out the edge.
We know that the
Keep your arms inside the vehicle.
as we found many combs in the excavations, as well as items such as tweezers and even ear scoops. We'll now head away from the river towards the street, Copperfield, and meet some more of the people who lived and worked here. As you can see the pen by the fence. From the many pig bones we found here, we know that Viking pigs were quite short and had a long snout like a wild boar. Pigs will eat almost anything, so would have been a great way to turn household waste into meat. Here's the blacksmith's house. Look inside and you can see his wife by the fire. Grummy, the blacksmith, is teaching his son how to sharpen a knife he had just made. Cleaning their couch. Goods and raw materials from across Britain, as well as rare and valuable items from further afield, were brought into York here. Iron alloy bars from Britain alongside amber, sharpening stones and walrus ivory from Scandinavia, and good wine from the Rhineland. Jorvik was truly bustling, a vast international trading centre. Here's some fishermen cleaning their catch and mending their nets. Fish from the rivers and the sea were brought into York, and we found thousands of fish bones that tell us exactly what the people ate, which included lots of fish, eels, and even oysters. So these men are probably doing a roaring trade. Have a look at the man gutting the fish. His face has been reconstructed, based on a skull that was. We're now entering one of the new style oak planked buildings. We were still discussing whether these buildings were 1 or 2 stories, but they all had rooms or cellars below ground level. As we travel through this 2-roomed house, you can imagine that the floor at the back is being built, and you can see the cellar below where goods are stored. Above this sunken room, the window openings are only small, so, as you can see, it would have been quite dark inside these houses. In addition to the hearth, small pottery lamps and wax candles were used to create light so that the people who lived here could carry out their everyday tasks. In this front room, you can see a woman working at the loom, which was time. In this backyard, animals have been slaughtered to provide meat and...
So then after the ride, you sort of like go to the actual like museum part, you know, where they've got the exhibits and the stands with all the things they've found. So a lot of it, obviously, like here you've got like all the axe heads and like just so much. Obviously, if you need to see anything a bit better, just pause the video and you can have a look. But I tend to just do a sweep when I'm recording, because obviously, like, I know a lot of these places don't like people recording, because then it stops other people from wanting to come because they've already seen it and whatever. I don't work that way. If I saw a video of a museum, it just made me want to go there more. But you know, that's how people are. And now I will show you a dead body. It's not a real dead body. Oh my god, YouTube's gonna fucking hate me. It's not a real dead body. Well, it is, but it's a skeleton from before 1066. So calm your tits, YouTube. Alright? It's not a real dead body. Does a skeleton count as a dead body? I guess so. Oh, fucking. But yeah, I'll hand you over to my skeleton friend for a moment. Oh, this is deranged. Was this the lady?
Yeah.
So yeah, this skeleton was found here. She was a woman. Oh, she's a woman. I'm so bad at this shit. I'm so bad at this. And obviously I had to get like a close-up of the skull and shit because, yeah, why not? We've also got like a bunch of combs, which again, Beardy has one. If I can, I might get him to send me pictures, but I don't know if I can be bothered, being honest. And all the jewellery that we spoke about before, like from upstairs and stuff. Yes. And we've got like a bunch of coins and stuff, and all like the stuff to make coins and everything. I've actually made my own Viking coins before. And this next bit is an item that, it's strange that they're known for this, let me just say. Pretty much everybody I know that has been to the Jorvik Centre has turned around and gone, oh, you need to see that. And even the man outside mentioned it, so I will let Exza take it away. That's what that guy was pushing out, that's why I was screaming. So yeah, this place had like so much cool finds and stuff, and bear in mind all of these were found on site. Like the guy said, it was from like the chocolate factory, the old chocolate factory, which I can't remember which one. I want to say Bourneville, but obviously that would be in Bourneville, so I'm like, was it a Thornton? It was a chocolate factory. But yeah, from there to like the end of the street or so, like it wasn't that big a dig site, but it was at the same time. It's yeah, I don't fully know what I'm talking about. But the fact that they found all of this cool shit in amongst it all was really cool. Being able to see it all. And I already know how to play Nefeltaffel. We do not have enough time for a game of Nefeltaffel, I will tell you that right now. However, if they sell the boards, I may be tempted to get one. Actually seeing that they found a Nefeltaffel board, which is great. Which it is great. I don't think they had the board for display from what I can remember. Oh no, they did, yes. They had the board for display. And yeah, Nefeltaffel is, or as I call it, nipple tassels. It's a fun game. It's kind of like chess, but also kind of like capture the flag. Like your main goal, if your defense is to keep your king alive, your main thing as attack is to kill the king. But as attack, you don't get a king. You are literally just there to fucking bombard them in an attack. Actually fairly good at it myself, to the point where in my group the resident Taffel player got owned one day and was very confused. That's a story for another day, honey. There's a very pretty lyre. Very odd shape for a lyre, though. The lyre was kind of cool. Like I say in the video, though, it's a very strange shaped lyre. Like it's not that weird, but it's like compared to the ones I'm used to, it was very much more lute-like. No, it's hard to a harp. It was more like a harp than a lyre. And obviously we weren't allowed to play it, so well, were we? I don't fucking know. We might have been. It's been a while. If I could lift it up and actually like do my plinky plonky and stuff, that would be fine, but I wasn't allowed. I think it was like you can touch it, but you can't like lift it up and stuff. But and then obviously there's all like the old tablets and shit, which were actually quite rare, so the fact that they've got 3 on display is kind of cool. That one, you've seen that specific one before, because that's one me and Beardy recreated. And you have more of the old coins and stuff, which I know how to make. I've actually made some before that we sold during uni when we were trying to make money for our end of year show. Still think it's dodgy that we had to do that, but you know. So yeah, basically you kind of like, you have this cylinder of metal, and you put the whatever material you're making the coin out of in the bottom as like a little disc, and then you get another bit of metal and you stick it in. Imagine a pestle and mortar, but like closed. Does that make any sense? Like, it's not open, it's like the pestle, the mortar's the bottom bit, right? The stick thing fits flush to the bowl thing. That's how it works. But you kind of slot that in, and then on the end of that is your stamp, which is like the imprint of the coin. So you stick that in, you get your hammer, give it a big old whack, and you've imprinted your coin. And obviously you then turn it around to do the other side. That shoulder never clicks. What is going on? What is happening? But yeah, that's how you make a Viking coin, and that's how all of those ones there were probably made. The more you know. Ding. It's about that I really want an old Viking dice. Like, they're kind of cool, no? And there's even like a weirdly shaped D20 there. I want to say it's a D20. It looks like they tried to make a D20. Not sure if they succeeded. I've never rolled it before, but you know. And we have another dead body. This one I think was male from what the sign said. I was too interested in like looking at the details and shit. It's very strange because like, you know, that this was once a person, so it feels very weird having it like in front of you in a display case. It's like your brain's like telling you, hang on a minute. But it's hard to explain how seeing a dead body works, you know, like, who would have thunk it? I'm sliding. I'm going. Yes, I did almost die. I didn't, I just slid down too far because I was trying to get a good shot, and my legs were going like this. And thankfully my mother was stood next to me and just put her foot there so I would stop sliding, because we were on a little bit of a slope. You can't really tell in the video, but we were on a little bit of a slope. So yeah, I almost died. Such a shame. And there was just like some more jewellery and stuff, and then that was the Jorvik Centre. Did you guys enjoy that? There's some more obligatory mirror selfies for you. You've earned them. In my Demi Lovato jumper. Because of course. I didn't really get a better or any video of the market, actually, which was probably bad. This was the one little video I got of the market, and it was basically the rum people asking if we wanted to try some rum. I'll let past Ezra show you how that went. Oh yeah, go on mate. Yeah, I should have got more videos of the market. We didn't really go on it, but we did at the same, like, we had a look around and stuff, but it wasn't really like a, oh, let me film everything and see, because, like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, York Market, it's known for its market, right? There's, like, a bunch of things that York is known for, and its market is one of them. I recommend going. And obviously I can't be like, oh, well, I couldn't be asked to film, so I didn't film. Because you need to go yourself. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's more like it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't like a, oh, let me film all of this market and show you kind of thing. We did go more around on day 2. Like, day 1 was literally just so we, like, spotted the rum place, spotted something else that I can't even remember what it was at this point, and then left. So it wasn't like we were round there all day on the first day or anything.
What, should we eat in or take away?
I don't know.
Watch out for the curb, mother. Yeah, my mum almost fell off the pavement trying to take a picture of the shambles. And here is where we finally get a better view of York Minster. Yeah, it was huge. Fucking huge. But with our luck, obviously, they had scaffolding and stuff up that day. They would do it, well, for the whole time we were there. I think it was like a couple week long. I don't even want to say renovation's the word. I'm not sure what the word would be. Like, fixing, I guess. And yes, this next clip is going to be probably a clip that I use on the channel now, because I don't know what possessed me to do it, but it was fun, so enjoy. But yeah, it was, I mean, I don't think the videos do it more justice than the pictures, because obviously the pictures aren't going to get much. It was of me stood in front of a wall, pretty much. But obviously, like, the videos show more of the scale, but unless you see it in person, it's like, you probably don't think it's that big. But yeah, these pictures don't really do it like full-blown justice as to how big it is, but that was like one tiny little wall on the end, bear in mind, so all the rest was like a lot bigger. This Mucky Pig Lane sign, I took a picture of this because it reminded me of Sven, which is our... Is mascot the right term? Probably not. Sure, it's our Vike group mascot is Sven the Boar. So as soon as I saw this, I took a picture and sent it to Beardy. As does have a little penis sticking out on it, though, because Viking sense of humour and everything, let's be honest. But it's pretty much this dude. It's pretty much this dude. So now we're getting to the first place we went for food while we were here. This was the Divine restaurant, and it was actually quite good. Like, so we had, well, I had this cocktail. I cannot remember what it was called. It was a bit like a Blue Lagoon, but it wasn't a Blue Lagoon, you know. But I think it had like vodka and rum in it or something. It was very nice, anyway, and a sprig of mint on top, which, love that on a cocktail, even though I'm slightly allergic. This is me enjoying that cocktail with a little cherry blossom plant behind me. Love it. Oh, it's my old glasses. I didn't have my new glasses at this point, guys. And then for the main, this was so good. It was so good. I had, well, my parents both had steak because they're British and they always have steak. I myself am not much of a meat eater. I will have a steak every so often, but I saw this, I think it was the fungi penne, which had like this cheesy, Alfredo-y, creamy, delicious fucking sauce on it. I think it had chicken in it as well, but I might be wrong. I can't fully remember. But there was also like all the mushrooms, and then they came over with the cheese thingy. You know the thingy? Yeah, they came over with that thing, and they went, tell me when to stop, and I went, you might want to decide for yourself, Duck, because otherwise I'll never tell you to. I love cheese. No, my dad sort of gave me a look across the table because I was sort of just watching it, and this cheese come down, and I was like, fuck, what do I do? My dad just gave me a look of like, stop, kind of thing, and I was like, oh, that'll do, thank you, yay. And could have had more cheese on it, not gonna lie. No, it was delicious. And then for dessert, of course, I am a bitch for creme brulee. Love a creme brulee. This one was... Okay, it was nice. It wasn't the best creme brulee I'd had. It didn't have... how do I describe it? From what I remember saying to my mum, it had like a vanilla-y taste, but it wasn't like... it was more of a nutmeggy, gingery taste, which isn't really my preference, instead of the vanilla taste. Bear in mind, I don't normally like vanilla, but a creme brulee needs to be vanilla-y, because it's creme brulee, you know. But it had too much of like a gingery, yeah. I don't know what other spices they used in it, but it was a nutmeggy, gingery. It was good, it just wasn't the best creme brulee I've had, and a connoisseur of these posh foods to nobody else. No, I'm not. I'm just a Taurus, and I like bougie things. What can I say? And also, can I just a little side rant here, away from the York? Tauruses aren't foodies. We like the finer things in life. That doesn't necessarily mean we eat all food that's put. No, that means we like bougie stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be food. It could be drinks, it could be clothes, it could be money. It doesn't just mean we're foodies, okay? So every compilation out there ever that's like, oh, all the star signs is this, and then every single Taurus one is somebody fucking stuffing their face full of food. That's not how we work, honey. Sometimes. Give me cheese and we'll talk. So yeah, that was the end of the first day in York. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't really know how it's going to turn out. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I would love to do more videos where I actually sit in front of you guys with my little microphone and just rant at you. No, just ramble a bit, and then edit it with like whatever I've done, or I don't know. I'm tempted to do more like food videos this way, because it makes it a bit easier, because then I can just like record all the food stuff instead of like trying to vlog while I'm waiting for something to cook and then like possibly burning it or whatever. I've not done it yet, but you know, I get distracted easily, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna go clean my new piercings and then I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye, guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. My channel. Fucking hell. You deranged motherfucker. Just gonna put all these little random bits at the fucking end for you guys to hear me being a little fucking bitch about it.